Hello, welcome. This is Business News, now reaching you live from iBrandTV News Studio, Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital. Coming up, power generation drops by 1,119.6 megawatts. Sector's growth falls by 45% in Nigeria. And CBN makes move to make Enaira function offline. West African countries lose $1.9 billion to Gulf of Guinea piracy. And China's property giant Evergrande misses debt deadline. Glad to have you join us and hear business stories making headlines at this hour. I am Frank Omalape. So we'll begin with Nigeria's power sector, which has decreased in growth by 45% in real terms in the fourth quarter of this year when compared to the preceding quarter. Data from the National Bureau of Statistics shows that after posting a peak generation of 5,008.9 megawatts on December 7, the figure dropped by 1,119.6 megawatts to an off-peak of 3,809.3 megawatts on December 8th, 2021. A document on power sector data review, which was presented by the NBS at the first Abuja Electricity Power Conference and exhibition organized by the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, also stated that the contribution of the sector to real gross domestic product decreased in the third quarter of 2021. This came as experts and operators at the conference called on the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to efficiently and sustainably enforce the sector's market rules to allow the business function as required. Also, stakeholders at the conference observed that there was regulatory weakness pervading the system, according to the communique issued at the end of the event. And away from there now, the Central Bank of Nigeria is working on offline use for Enaira, which will help on board to those who don't have access to the internet. This is according to the Director of Payment System Management Department of the bank, Musa Jimo, at the 2021 business luncheon of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, CITN. The APS Bank wants to increase Enaira's use cases, boost its adoption and make it more relevant to the payment ecosystem. Enaira is the Nigerian digital currency issued and regulated by the Central Bank of Nigeria. It has the same value as the fiscal naira and guarantees simple, safe and fast transfers and payment anytime, anywhere. And now the Central Bank of Nigeria has also set aside over 5.7 billion naira to give as loan to 10,000 farmers to encourage dry season with farming in Bauchi State. The CBN controller, Bauchi branch Salado Idris, who disclosed this at the flag off of the program at the NUJ Secretariat in Bauchi on Thursday, said that 4,500 farmers have so far benefited in the state. He said each farmer would be given 370,000 naira cash, 6 bags of urea, 4 bags of NPK fertilizer, and pumping and spraying machines. He said the CBN had taken proactive steps by reaching out to the farmers through associations so that only those targeted will benefit. Each farmer is supposed to get a minimum of 370,000 hectare, and the other inputs, which include the bags of seedlings, the 6 bags of urea, 4 bags of NPK, the pumping machine and the spraying machine. All these will be given to farmer per hectare, according to him. And away from there now, MTN, Airtel, Glo and Nine Mobile lost over 14 million data subscribers between November 2020 and October 2021. This is according to the information obtained by the Nigerian Communications Commission. The subscribers of the 4 major internet service providers dropped from 154.4 million in November 2020 to 139.9 million as at the end of October 2021. Between November 2020 and October 2021, MTN Nigeria lost a total of 7.45 million data subscribers. At the end of October 2021, the telco giant had 58,000 or 58.3 million data subscribers, down from 59.5 million and 65.7 million it recorded as at the end of July 2021 and November 2020 respectively. And away from there now, the federal government of Nigeria has withdrawn approval granted to Emirates Airlines for the winter schedule. A letter by Musa Nuhu, the Director General, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA), dated 9th December 2021 to the country manager, Emirates Airlines, stated that the approval, which was granted 1st December 2021 via a letter, will be withdrawn effectively Sunday, December 2021. The letter stated that henceforth Emirates Airlines will be granted approval to operate only one weekly passenger flight to Abuja on Thursdays. And now Cyber Safe Foundation, in partnership with the UK government, is set to train about 2,400 girls across Nigeria in digital skills through the DigiGirls Digital Empowerment Program. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the training program in Lagos recently, the founder Cyber Safe Foundation Conference sturdily said the DigiGirls Digital Empowerment Program, which is a training and mentorship program for girls across Nigeria, was designed to offer basic and intermediate digital skills for girls in Nigeria. According to her, at the end of the 3-month training program, the beneficiaries would be equipped with digital skills like digital marketing, e-commerce, data analytics, and graphic design, among other skills that will enable them to have access to gainful employment within and outside Nigeria. Away from then, our capital inflow into Nigeria fell from $620 million in July to $440 million in August over the resurgence of the COVID-19 pandemic. Central Bank of Nigeria stated this in a monthly economic report for August, tied to foreign capital inflow moderated in August 2021 due to weakening risk sentiment that followed the COVID-19 resurgence. It stated that, and I quote, foreign capital inflow moderated in August 2021 due to weakening risk sentiment that followed the COVID-19 resurgence. New capital imported into the domestic economy decreased by 29.0% to $0.44 billion, compared with the $0.62 billion recorded in July, end quote. The inflow of other investment, mainly loans, was about $0.16 billion, constituting about 36.9% of the total, while foreign direct investment at about $0.4 billion constituted the balance of 9.3% respectively. And now the National Pension Commission, PENCON, has said it will ensure that all pensioners under the contributory pension scheme are fully recaptured and uniquely identified on the database to ensure that only bona fide retirement saving account holders have access to their contributions. Head National Data Bank Management Department, PENCON, Grace Usoro, said the data recapture exercise for government agencies remained critical for the Commission, adding that it will continue until it ensures that the last contributor that registered before the cut-off date of July 2019 has been fully recaptured. About 9,000 contributors will be required to update their information in order to remain eligible for RSA. The Debt Management Office, DMO, on behalf of the federal government, has announced the offer for subscription of the December 2021 federal government savings bonds to investors. This disclosure is contained in a circular issued by the DMO and can be seen on its website, noting that there are 2-year and 3-year savings bonds. A breakdown of the bonds shows that the 2-year federal government savings bonds will be due on December 15, 2023 at 7.3% per annum, and the 3-year federal government savings bonds, which will be due on December 15, 2024 at 8.32% per annum. The bond qualifies as securities in which trustees can invest under the Trustee Investment Act. Away from there now, an estimated 1.1 billion units of Federal or First Bank of Nigeria holding shares have been exchanged in the last 4 days, suggesting that the battle for the control of one of the most important banks in Nigeria is still raging on. The data was gathered from the daily trade volumes recorded by the company and the Nigerian Stock Exchange trading engine. A cost review of the data shows about 128.8 million, 364 million, and 401.9 million and 208.5 million shares of the bank were traded on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, respectively. Sources with the knowledge of the trade suggest a major portion of the transactions were off-market block trades, similar to the pattern recorded weeks before Mr. Otedola was announced as purchasing over 5% of the bank. And now the United States government has announced the donation of 2.5 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine to Nigeria this week. This brings the total number of doses to COVID-19 vaccines donated to Nigeria either in partnership with the COVAX or bilaterally to more than 13.5 million doses. This disclosure is contained in a public statement issued by the United States Embassy in Nigeria on Thursday and can be seen on its website. The statement says that the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency received the vaccines and ensured they were taken to cold storage with plans to distribute over 3,000 health facilities across all 36 states and FCT Abuja. The U.S. stated that the vaccines would be made available at major markets, shopping malls, event centers, motor parks, airports, places of employment, and religious institutions as part of Nigeria's mass vaccination campaign. You're watching Business News Now from iBrandTV studio. Still ahead, Asian shares slip ahead of key U.S. inflation data. Details and more business update after this commercial break. Please stay with us.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
Glad to have you back now. This is Business News Now, coming to you live from iBrandTV studios here in Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital. And now to the African scene. A new United Nations report states the surge of maritime piracy in Africa's Gulf of Guinea is not just a threat to the foreign ship and cargo owners, but also carries significant cost that amount to over $1.9 billion for the coastal nations. The newest hotspot for piracy saw about 106 incidents in 2020, with 623 seafarers affected by kidnapping, according to the report Pirates of the Gulf of Guinea. A cost analysis for the coastal states. The report made together with the Stable Seas Research Group said that most of the direct cost of the kidnappings and ship seizures would be borne by foreigners, with some $5 million paid last year for kidnappings of mostly non-African ship crew members. The reports estimate that those costs will be more than $1.9 billion annually, diverting important resources from other crucial needs. And now Botswana's removal from the grey list will come as a relief to the government. The grey listing by the FATF meant automatic inclusions in the European Union's list of non-cooperative jurisdictions and the United Kingdom's list of high-risk countries. With all transactions linked to Botswana requiring extra scrutiny, the listing had implications for the country's foreign investment environment. Cross-border transactions were impacted, with foreign businesses needing to consider the risk of working with Botswana banks and other businesses. And it's time to flip over to the foreign scene now. A crisis at the world's most indebted company had worsened after news it had that misses a crucial repayment deadline. Chinese property giant Evergrande, whose liabilities exceed about $300 billion, failed to meet interest payments to international investors. That prompted Fitch, an agency that rates companies' financial risks, to declare Evergrande in default. The crisis has hooked investors with fear contagion across China's property and banking sectors. Evergrande had been due to repay interest on about $1.2 billion international loans on Monday, but by Wednesday the money has still not been transferred. On Thursday, Fitch, the world's biggest credit rating agencies, declare Evergrande in default, a move that could hamper the company's restructuring talks with investors. And in global stocks now, Asia shares slip and the dollar held firm on Friday as traders urge away from riskier assets amid renewed concerns about COVID-19 and ahead of key U.S. inflation data that could set direction on Federal Reserve rate. MSCI's broadest index of Asia Pacific shares outside Japan lost about 0.4%, and Japan's Nikkei shed about 0.5%. Overnight, the S&P 500 lost about 0.72%, and the Nasdaq Composite dropped 1.172%. S&P 500 futures rose 0.14% in Asia hours. Shares and risk-friendly currencies had performed weak earlier in the week, with MSCI's regional benchmark posting its best day in 2 months on Tuesday, helped by indications the Omicron strain of the new coronavirus might not be as economically disruptive as first feared. You're still watching Business News Now, coming to you live from our studios here. Up next is Entertainment Business.
This is Entertainment Business News. My name is Agogo Ayanago. UK TV giant ITV is targeting to double the number of scripted programming hours created by its production arm, ITV Studios, and boost the percentage of revenue it gets from streamers from 14% this year to around 25% by 2026. The company, led by CEO Caroline McCall, unveiled the targets Thursday and also said expected total revenue at ITV Studios to recover to 2019 levels in 2022 following disruption due to the coronavirus pandemic. Quote, thereafter, we expect total organic revenues to grow by at least 5% on average per annum, which is ahead of the forecasted growth for the global content market, end of quote. ITV said it is making 200 hours of high-end scripted content this year, meaning its ambition is to grow that to 400 hours by 2026. It also shared that it has 16 global formats produced in 3 or more countries in 2021, but plans to boost that figure to 20 by 2026. ITV Studios has 60 production labels across 13 countries and catalog with more than 90,000 hours of content. Moving on. The musical chair of Friends and Foes is underway again at China's theatrical box office, with South Korea seemingly back in the game, while Hollywood and Bollywood could be out of luck for the foreseeable future. On December 3rd, South Korean family comedy Oh My Grand, produced by Seoul-based Big Stone Pictures, opened theatrically in China. The movie is the first Korean title to show on Chinese screens since 2016, when Seoul installed a US-made missile defense system known as Terminal High Altitude Area Defense on the Korean Peninsula, which angered Beijing leaders. Oh My Grand's release carries more symbolic significance than it does commercial value. A relatively small offset movie, it received limited screen share and opened to just $170,000 over the weekend, but analysts said its arrival as sees his arrival as the first move towards a potential reopening of the floodgates for South Korea's red-hot content industry in the enormous Chinese marketplace. Korean cinema's box office fortunes were rapidly rising right up until the moment that the country got locked out of Beijing. Bong Joon-ho's Snowpiercer earned record $11 million in 2014 and was far surpassed the next year by CJ Entertainment's Korea-Chinese co-production 20 Once Again, which earned $59.3 million. That's it on entertainment business. My name is Agogo Ayanago. Back to you, Frank.
And coming up next is sport business.
Spanish football giants Real Madrid have secured an extended $255 million loan from JP Morgan and Bank of America for the redevelopment of the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. The extension has a 27-year term with a 1.53 fixed interest rate, reportedly the largest conditions ever for a long-term loan in the sports industry. Real Madrid will not start repaying until July 2024, thanks to a grace period. The funding will allow Real Madrid to build a new greenhouse, helping preserve optimal conditions for a retractable pitch that will also allow additional events to be held at the facility. The initial loan is worth $653 million and will be used towards the retractable roof, 360-degree video scoreboard, and surrounding skin of steel bands for exterior image projections. The new stadium will include space for a casino, first-class restaurant, and museum. The redevelopment plan is not expected to be completed until the end of next year. In the 2019-2020 season, Real Madrid brought in $792 million in revenue, with Forbes valuing the Madrid-based club at $4.75 billion in April 2021. And still talking sports business, the National Hockey League's Board of Governors on Thursday unanimously approved the sale of Pittsburgh Penguins to Fenway Sports Group. In late November, reports emerged of the Penguins' sale to the Fenway Sports Group for $900 million, with the Board of Governors approving the deal. The sale will be completed sometime during the month of December. Fenway Sports Group will gain controlling interest in the Penguins, while former owners Mario Lemieux and Ron Bucklew will still remain part of the ownership group. At the moment, Fenway Sports Group has not gestured towards front office changes immediately surrounding the sale of Penguins. And that's it on sports business. I'm Samson Oloide.
Thank you so much, Samson, there for sports stories there. And this is where we call it a wrap on business news now. Many thanks for watching. I am Frank Omalape. I'll see you again.